Episode 15, and on this week Adam has done
bushes, bit of paint underneath. It's good, you'll like it. Watch it.
Welcome to Minis and Motorbikes. Run titles.
Oh, hello you lot. Tonight. Well, control arms. I bought a lovely little kit and I'll get it up on the bench and show you. Because I've been using presses before and getting bushes out has been a complete pain in the backside. So, best 50 quid I spent. Look at that. Come on Mark, show them, look. All the little spaces, look, and you put them on in little doodahs and round on the thingamajigs. Look, follow this round here, look, and put them on stuff like that. And that pushed them out and I got it done within 20 minutes. Plenty of WD-40 on it and a bit of heat and it popped out. I've done that one already. We'll show you where they sort of go in a bit. I'll make some more noise. So I just pushed those bushes out with it using the kit on the control arms. So those control arms can go off and be sandblasted and repainted. That one's looking particularly scabby, so I might get a couple of new ones, or new second-hand ones. Let's add some new ones on it anyway by the looks of it. And then we've got some poly bushes going in there. They hold the trailing arms on the front underneath, on either side of the front, the rear quarter there, and the trailing arms secure into them. They're the old bushes for that one that were pushed out. Yeah. And then these nice new poly bushes go in. The aluminium bit goes in first, and then I think it's the thicker part on the outside. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then they just push in there with grease and everything. So that's that bit. So I guess, what do you reckon? Push the bush out on that one?
Yeah, let's see you push the bush.
What I say. Right, yes. Now, I can't remember which way round I did it when I did it before. I think I did it top to bottom. Right, okie dokie. Move my glasses because I've already lost a pair today. All right, Arch. Need your coat on, mate. Oh yes, and it's chuffing freezing up here tonight as well. Really.
It's a bit chilly, really, isn't it?
Yes, it bloody well is.
That's what happens at the end of September.
Yeah. September. Right, I can't remember what sizes they were. Not that one, is it? That one's obviously got to be the bigger size, so it pops through. What ones they were? It's a bit silly, isn't it? I can't remember what ones were what. Alright, so goes underneath. One of those. Not that one. That'll do. Use that Strut Brace. Right size for that, yep. Comes apart. I love it. It's a good kit. Good bit of kit.
It was very expensive as well, wasn't it?
50 quid. Best 50 quid I've spent in a blooming long time. That slots up there like that. And we've got to get the right size doodah, which I think is that. No. Is that one that's in it, I think.
I'm glad we rehearse these things.
yeah, it's a good job I know what I'm doing, isn't it? Right, hang on, it's got to go onto the. I can put my glass, hang on. Oh, I see it, put my eyes on. You can see now. No, that's right, he's right, because it's just that rubber. I just trim that rubber off so it exposes the metal work, and then I put that on. So I slice my hand off. There we go. And then that bit sits on that metal ring there, like that. This one underneath obviously sits wider than that bit, so that it then pushes through. If you want to come on the top, look, so you can see down. Right. Yeah. So that sits, what's that's wider than that, so then it should push through on the bottom one. Yeah. So that one goes on there, like that, sits on that one. I think it's, I can't remember which one it is. No, not that one. Yeah, it's a good job I rehearsed it and didn't do the other one like 2 days ago. That's it, that's the one. And that one then goes on there like that. Yeah, more haste, less, yeah, amphetamine. You might want to speed this bit up, Mark, can you edit? Come on, where are you? That should do it. And then we just finding out. It's not going to do it now, is it? I pissed it the other night with that one. It come out as soon as there's anything. This one ain't going to do it. Oh! Christmas list, Mark. 22mm ratchet spanner. Alright. Halfords would like to give us a nice set of their expert range. That'd be lovely. Or snap-on, or I'd even set off a Draper. Not sure about a Sealy though. Oh, laser tools. Yeah, laser tools. You can sponsor the Mini then as well. It's coming now, Mark.
Just get in touch.
Yeah,
Minis and Motorbikes at gmail.com.
Yeah, ratchet spanner. 22mm. That'd be nice. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's nearly there now. I think it has actually gone. I think it actually has gone through now. Yeah. Should come off. Should come off now. Is that coming out? Might have to knock it out with a. There we go, look, there she is, she's out, look. Sorry, I'm getting carried away, I've got all excited. Look, she's out. Huh. Ain't they good? Isn't they good? See, you don't need a press, you don't need a 300 quid press to get it out. Yeah. Someone will probably moan about it. have a smart comment because we didn't use the press, but I don't care. I thought this was easier. It certainly works all right on them anyway. And that's it. And we just got the front to do, the front sections, bits and pieces to do. There's 2 or 3 on there to do, but the back ones are all done now. So all that lot can go off for sandblasting. Then we get it back and we give it a coat of etch primer and then put some. I've got some of that gloss black. It's like Hammerite. It's a cheap Hammerite. Put that on. So I just tend to think that the gloss perhaps might clean up better than satin. When we come to get all the dirt off, wash all the dirt off when we go off across the fields when we're racing. That's why they used to call me Farmer Palmer. Right, I think that's it, isn't it? Right, this is all the stuff that's going off. We've got the control arms, we've got the front leg bits that take the swing arms at the front part, this bit here. Got the back axle that we're going to give a spruce up that Mini give us. That's an exhaust support that goes halfway down underneath the car. The exhaust sits on there. We've got to replace them, get that sandblasted. And that's all that lot then. And that's the back end basically. The anti-roll bar I'm going to do myself. I'm just going to wire brush off because it's not that bad. These 2 I could probably wire brush off myself and do them. The rest of it I've got a place in Braffin that do sandblasting. They're really good. They've done a go-kart chassis for me once, and yeah, so I'll take them all into them. Oh, news on the swing arms. I think we've got to use the steel swing arms. We're not allowed to use the aluminium ones. So where I thought we were being clever saving all that way. Yeah. I know. I know. So that means I've got to cut my feet off.
I'm going to do that again. I enjoyed doing that. I'm going to do that again. Oh.
But I'm still going to do them up though. No. But I'm still going to do them. I'm still going to do them up ready because I'm not 100% sure. But I was informed today that we've got to use the metal ones. But yeah, so that's that then. But that's all the stuff off the back end that needs sprucing up, and so we get them sandblasted and then paint that up, and obviously then put it all back together. We should have the underneath all painted up by then because I'm going to paint it now.
But you've done something under there, haven't you? Because the last time we left it, there was half done.
Yeah.
You've done the other half. Should we
done the
have a
other
look?
half. I've put black epoxy on it.
Take us over there, Adam. Take us over there.
Come on this way. Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark.
Yeah.
Come on, Mark. All I've got to do now is wipe down the inner wings with some detergent and then body wipe, and I'm going to sand all them down, ready for primer. Found another little rust spot on the inner wing, which has got to be done. I tried some white epoxy primer, Soul Paints we've been using. I'd like them to supply us paint really, but I don't think they will because their paint's not been bad from what I've used of it. I did order some 2-pack epoxy paint, gloss paint off of Amazon, and they sent a base coat, which defeats it because I don't want to put base coat on then lacquer. I just want to put perhaps a couple of thin coats of high gloss white on it. Poor old Archie's shivering as well. Look, poor little boy.
Yeah, obviously I remember where we lived in Newport all that time. My dad built a house on my grandmother's, she had a small plot of land beside Franbury Lane, And so we lived, when we were first there, we lived in the house next door, and then when my uncle died in around 1979, I should think, something like that, when I was first starting racing, then we all moved into the house that we lived in, for the next, Mum and Dad lived in for the next sort of 20 years.
Yeah, because our house back, because I was up the road from you, because you lived next to the Peterses, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
And then we were up slightly more than halfway up where the primary school is now. So we're both on the same field backed onto our houses. And I can remember watching your dad and later on you riding your motorbikes up the back field and practicing.
Yeah, we were very good friends.
One day, you did it on your back wheel the whole way up. And me and my brother watching out the window, and I thought you were your dad. And my brother's gone, no, that's Kurt, and he's better than his dad.
I mean, I remember, because back in those days, I think the primary school was probably built because...
so I can remember playing cricket at primary school, and because Aaron was a good bowler. I can remember him bowling to you. And it was just before you left, I think, and you used to knock the thing for 6, and we think, bloody hell, and that was just in the practice nets sort of thing. So, sport's always sort of been there and roundabouts, I think, hasn't it? But
I mean, I really enjoyed all sports, football, cricket, everything. I just, it came to that certain, right around that time, then I stopped playing football and cricket and stuff and just concentrated on racing motocross. But I mean, before that, I did everything. I mean, right around that time that you're talking about was when they built the M11. And we could pretty much ride everywhere, and there was all kinds of tracks when they were building that.
I saw a comment where somebody had written, or I can't remember what it was on now, where they said about that you was a late bloomer because you didn't start until the age of 16. And I was reading that thinking, what was that deep? Because I mean, you see 15 and 16-year-olds getting into like, you know, and Formula One drivers at like 19 and stuff like that. But I don't remember back in that would be. It just seems an odd.
Yeah.
A late bloomer. I would have thought getting into it at the age of 15, 16, you was early doors.
No, there definitely was a late bloomer. Yeah, the like basically schoolboy motocross, schoolboy scrambling, as it was called back then, started properly in the 70s, and most of the guys that I raced against, you know, people like Dave Thorpe, they all started when they were 5, 6 years old on, you know, 80cc bikes and that sort of stuff. And I didn't start until I was 14, nearly 15. So, yeah, it was late. I mean, I still think back then it wasn't like it is today. I think today you got no chance of catching up if you started that late. Back then it wasn't quite that sophisticated. But, I would definitely was late. But I also, you know, I had a background, you know, everything you've just been talking about playing in those fields and all of that stuff. It wasn't like I didn't have a background of it. And so I picked it up real quick. And so I didn't start racing until I was nearly 15, but I immediately, you know, was at a high level, which wouldn't have been the case if I'd have, you know, learned to ride a bike when I was 15. So, I mean, calling me a late bloomer, I was late to racing. I wasn't late to riding.
Because that was your first GP. Was it Farley Castle was your first GP win?
Yes, 1987. Yeah.
Because that was a good year for you, wasn't it, 87? Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I mean, that's when I really broke through World Championship. I started in 84, but then 85, I think I finished 8th. But then I broke my femur at the end of the year. And so 86 was kind of a bit of a down year. But then 87 was when I finished second and won my first GPs. And so that was, 87 was really the big breakthrough year.
Did Aaron used to mechanic for you, though? Did he? Am I right in thinking that? Because he's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah,
amazing mechanic. Absolutely amazing. Like he's so detail oriented and, just so clever as well that, he's an amazing mechanic, and he was my mechanic from 86 until 92. And then after that, he went into the family business, which is located in Falmere.
This is a standard question for you, probably. Is there anything you do differently?
You know what? I don't think there is, and it is a bit. It's a question that I've been asked, and I find it difficult to answer because if I could take what I know now, and what I learned after missing out on the World Championship by a point, and always being close and not quite doing it. What I've learned since is to take each race as it comes, and. And that's what I do now. And so when I was winning those Supermoto championships over here and the Enduro Cross, I never worried about points. I never looked at it, just went to each race trying to win. Whereas when I was racing full time, I was a bit of a points counter, and, I wouldn't take that last little bit of, risk or effort. I was settling, thinking, okay, well, at least I'm hanging in there, and I'll get those points back next week, or, I still got the lead and that type of stuff. And so it mattered so much to me that, if I could go back, I'd try and change that mentality. But on the other hand, it probably also made me what I was, because it mattered so much and I worked so hard doing it. And if it didn't matter that much, then who knows? So, if there was things I'd change, there are only things I've learned through experience. But overall, I've led a charmed life. I don't know how I've been so lucky as to be able to wake up every day and just do what I love doing, and, just had a great time doing it on a daily basis. And not many people can say that. So, I've just been super blessed.
I guess one of your highlights was obviously in 94 when you was with the British team on the Motocross of Nations, and you won that and took that or you broke the 13-year winning streak from America. And I guess that's why you've moved to California, because you're still apologising for it.
Keep rubbing it in, all right?
No, much more the second. I'd still rub it in every chance I get. I had a reunion thing here just up the road a couple of weeks ago for the American team from 82 that started that streak, and I went over there just uninvited, just so I could rub in the fact that we ended it.
Yeah, it's nice. So, what's your proudest moment, would you say?
Apart from,
obviously this interview.
coming on in and talking,
Couple of monkeys.
Yeah, I mean, again, there seems to have been so many, but I mean, the biggest moment, honestly, was that Motocross to Nations win in 1994. I mean, that was one, it broke that American streak. But I mean, England hadn't won it since the 60s. And so, it was kind of unexpected. And I would say that was like the biggest moment of my career. But I mean, honestly, proud moment. There's just so much over the years that I'm, really proud of everything that I managed to achieve. And, I remember clearly all the successes, and I've managed to completely black out every single bad race I ever had. So don't ask me about any of them because they don't exist anymore.
You like that?
Yeah, well, it's amazing. People talk to me about races, and if they say, I was at this race and you won, I can tell them exactly what happened at the start and all the way through the race. And if they say I was at that race when you finished 11th, I'll say I just don't remember being there, mate.
Yeah, website for your championship vacations.
It's just championmx.com.
Yeah.
And we have a Instagram, Facebook, and all of that stuff as well. It's absolutely anyone that likes motocross and wants to have a week or two in the sunshine and really enjoy it.
Can people actually pay for private tuition or not separately?
Yes, they can now. Yes, I'm gonna do it like. There'll be only certain times. So, our busiest season for bike rentals is right around when Supercross happens over here in California, like January, February.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to offer the tuition sort of from the beginning of March next year. But it'll be the same thing. It'll be bike rental, accommodation and everything in, and then plus the tuition on top.
We put it in anyway, so people can contact you.
Yeah, in the description, underneath the video, we'll put all links in it for us.
Perfect. Awesome.
It's good to see Kurt. I haven't seen him since probably early 90s. In this episode, it's just a shortened version of it, but if you watch the following episode 16, that's the full interview, which is quite interesting because it's not your normal sort of run-of-the-mill interview. It's sort of a little bit personal, obviously, because we knew each other when we were younger, and Mark knew when he was younger. So if you go across and see episode 16, you'll see the whole episode. Right, now, back to the car. You've seen us get all the bushes out. They're all stripped out, ready for all them bits to be sandblasted. I haven't had a chance to take them off yet, up to be sandblasted, but we get them done, and then we paint them in another episode. So now we have to get the underneath of the car sorted out, get it all tightened up. And I want to show you doing that, how cheaply you can do it. You don't have to have all the gear to do it. I just bought some cheap 2-pack paint off the internet. And it works fine. It gives good coverage. I think you've seen a little bit of what we painted. I tried it out to see what it was like, what the gloss was like. It's really good. And it's underneath. It's where the tank is as well. So really, it's more rust protection than anything. Prevention is a better word than anything, really. So we just carry on underneath. We've got the inner arches to do. We do them, give them a wipe down and wipe off. Got some body wipe to clean it off with. I like doing them with both rags, so I'll put it on and then wipe it in with one rag, get the dirt off, and then I'll dry it off with another rag. I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but that's how I feel. And then we've got some white epoxy primer from the same company, Soul Professional Roofing. They're not sponsoring us, but it goes on really well and it's really good paint, so I've been using that. And then so we give that a good shake up, and there's got the little indentations from the little iron ball. Look at the bottom of the can, so we know we're cleaning it, we're shaking it up enough. Again,
See, I never knew that.
No, so
I never knew about the dents in the bottom of a tin. So you taught me something there.
but no, I like this stuff because it just gives it a good coverage. But perhaps later on they might help us later on when we do other builds. They might be willing to help us. That'd be nice. Try their top coat. We might try their top coat. Right. Okay. So that's shaped up. Right. We give that inner ring a wipe, and then Scotch pads. I don't want. We only want to. Yeah. Don't want a major one. I'll rip that in half. Oh, can't rip it in half, Mark. I need a pair of scissors. Let me get a pair of scissors. I need a pair of scissors. There we go, look. Have that one there. 2 box t-shirts, and then we do the underneath. Right, come on there. Come on. Right. I did want a worth one, but they were 35 quid, and I ain't got 35 quid. So this is one which is solvent safe, and they're not sponsoring us, obviously. Home base special. They're not sponsoring us either. Oh, hello, Arch. How you been in? Oh, hello, mate. Not that dirty. Right, give that a bit of a squirt. Come on, Arch. Here we go. Arch, look, you're gonna get. Look, come on, mate. Yeah, I know. Come on, out. Come on. Come on. Come on, out. Give that a good dousing over with that. It's just body wipe in there, and it's just to clean it off, and then just clean it up with one rag. A good dousing there. Obviously, we're going to go over the whole lot of that eventually. Good going over.
And you're just doing this before you put the
so it's just getting all the grease off of it, dirt and crap.
So the primer key's a bit better.
Well, it's just to stop it reacting with it, really.
Right.
Just keeping it nice and clean.
And this will get enough off. This will clean it enough, will it?
Yeah. Well, if you scuff it up beforehand, it just ingrains the dirt and the crap into the paint, and then it just react with it and all bubble up and do all sorts of stupid stuff. So just give it a good clean with body wipe, and then you're not rubbing the dirt into the paintwork, as it were. Just got a fine Scotch pad just to give it a rub over and a key, and then we just put some epoxy primer on it, and and it's just a matter of primer, top coat, and all the usual. I don't think that's coarse enough, actually. We go for a different one. We go for a green one. Oh, bear with. Go for a green one. It's a bit coarser, yeah. A bit coarser. That one's a bit too fine. That's better. We're getting some striation on the paint. We give it a nice key. That's better.
Get some nice what? What did you say then?
Striation.
Striation? You made that word up?
Yeah. Let me go over it again. Get all that dust off that we got off with the paint spray, and then we give it a coat of epoxy.
So why can't you just leave it though?
What do you mean?
Well, obviously you're doing all of this, like, you know, putting this sealer and primer and spray, but why can't you just leave it?
Oh, you can if you want to. There's nothing to stop you just leaving it, but it just looks horrible.
Right.
I just want it white like the rest of it.
Okay. All right. But the wheel's in there, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Who's
but-
looking?
Yeah, but I know, don't I? Right, okay, good. That's that bit done. Let that go off a bit. I'll shake that can up again. Shaky, shaky. Talking of shaky, this old house.
Don't start your singing again. Don't start your singing again.
He was Elvis, wasn't he, for a while in one of the old stage shows, wasn't he, old Jake and Stevens?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't.
Kurt
Spread
Russell was an Elvis and all, wasn't he? He done a film of him, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah, so just give that a light dusting. Yeah. That's it for now. I am your father. Archie, I am your father. Right, yeah, so it's literally just a fine coat. Just a, yeah, I can't really explain what I mean. I know what I mean, but I can't explain what I mean. It's just giving it a nice little fine. And then we start, once it's gone, well, it's gone off, we start layering up the coats in. The Max coats. He's a good driver. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that's it. It's just a fine list of it, just to let it key in on the paint and everything else, and then we start laying the coats on then. Yeah, well, gradually we'll increase it, and then we'll just give it a fine. You know, we give it a couple of coats of the. Well, it won't even be a couple of coats. A real good coat of epoxy. Give you a real good coat of the give you a real good coat of epoxy primer, and then I'll just use normal white primer then, and then we can give it a top coat. But yeah, it's just rinse and repeat, innit? You know, just don't, you know, get runs on it and stuff like that, and put too heavy a coat on it, and it covers it all right. The 2-pack covers better as well. But yeah, it's just give it a nice key, so then it won't react with the next coats. Then they go on better, and it won't tend to react with it then, hopefully. Yeah. So we come back to that when it's got the coats on and the coats of primer, and then, you know, we put the top coat on, and because it hasn't got to be fantastic, and we're just really just showing you can do it with cans. If you buy the, you know, the proper fans on the nozzles off the internet, if you buy with the cans with the proper nozzles, you can actually get them where they're 2-pack, and you've got the hardener in the bottom of it, and then you've got the paint in the bottom, and there's a little pin in the bottom, and you hit the pin like a hand grenade really, and then it sets a hardener in it, and then you've got 2-pack gloss coat coming out of it. Right, while we're letting that flash off, I'll show you the strut brace. Now this is why I like OMP stuff. Actually, as if we can get it in, because we've got so much stuff kicking about. Right. So take those bolts off there. And that bolt's straight on top of that. Bolt it back down, and then you tighten up the, you know. But what I like about it, the normal ones you get have just got the top bit, and you just bolt them on. But the OMP ones have got a ridge all the way around it, and the bar goes to into that ridge there. So therefore, it's pushing against them struts. They're just miles better. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Don't think I've explained that enough, but I know what I meant. Yeah. So normally they just have a top plate, and the strengthener sits on top of that, and it sits and pushes it apart. But with the OMP ones, you've got this lip around it, and it's welded to that lip, and then it pushes it apart. You know, they're so much better. Their stuff's brilliant. I wish they would bloody help us, because I do rate them.
And just pointing out, because obviously you know, but for people that are numpty like me,
Well, it makes you think I know. Yeah, no, and that
so that
pushes it apart.
makes it wider, smaller to fit
yeah.
the car, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it really with that.
And then again, going back to me being a numpty,
What makes you think I'm not?
Right.
What makes you think I know?
And that just, what does it basically
It
do?
just strengthens the
Explain
front
what it
end
does.
of it up. It just puts strength into the front. It stops that flexion in the front, like that. When you're going around the circuit, it stops those turrets moving.
Right.
Basically, that's all it does. It's just strengthener. Because you can't do it with a roll cage. Normally you do it with a roll cage. The roll cage, I keep saying it's not a proper racing. It is a proper racing, but on a proper racing, the roll cage is then tied in through the bulkhead. It comes through and then ties onto the top of that top mount, and then you have a welded in piece. So it just strengthens it all up. It's just really to strengthen those to stop those turrets flexion. We'll have, and normally we have one in the back as well. You'll have one going across the top in the back.
And it's just
Stop the
helps
back
on
end doing
cornering speeds or
Everything.
something like
It
that?
just stiffens it right up, so it helps it turn in better and everything.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've explained that all right. I'm sure someone will tell me if I haven't.
Yeah, well, no, I've got the gist of that.
Yeah.
I've got the gist of that.
All right. Yeah, it just stiffens it up, Mark. I must stop doing that.
You have to keep getting saucy, don't you?
Yeah, I can't help getting saucy. Yeah, so that's about it really, I think.
So thanks for watching this episode this week. Now, next time, what are you doing?
Might have a go at the brake lines, because obviously we've got to sort them out where they come through, because they have a light at the other end. I might even mark out the extinguisher lines as well, along the bulkhead inside.
Does that mean I'm going to be getting back in the car?
Probably.
Oh, great. Yeah. Eating the
And
head again.
we might have a Scottish relative come to weld the plates in. And,
Oh.
yeah.
Right, he's got his own
Yeah,
goggles.
Stuart Little, yeah, we call him.
Right,
yeah,
right, okay.
yeah.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing that. Anyway, before we go, big thank you to Kurt
Yes,
Nickel
Kurt
again.
Nickel.
Kurt Nickel
Yes,
again. No, don't even go there. Kurt Nickel, thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on and
thank
doing
you,
the
Kurt.
interview.
It's been good to see you.
Yeah, certainly looked nicer in California than it did here. But anyway,
Yeah.
there you go. Maybe we'll blag a trip over there sometime. So, anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Take care.